This is a Spark Talk on how to use the Zoom room. So I am in M207, and this is Jane Upperman. And you're going to come up to the desk up at the front and go to the iPad. Now, for this meeting, I'm going to click on a new meeting, but notice that it says, if you look closely at the thing, it says there's no upcoming meetings. If today were my day to be in this classroom, it would show my class. I have two, and the reason it would show it is because if I come over here, if I log in to my Outlook, so I log into Outlook and I created an event. So again, if you're looking at the screen up here, that new event, and then you would come down. And so if you see here, I have created my business analysis class and my financial accounting class. And if you notice in there, who did I invite? I invited the M207 Zoom room and the A009 Zoom room. So then the Zoom room will accept that invitation. And when they accept that invitation, when you come in, you will see it there. So instead of it saying no upcoming meetings, it will say, like for me, business analysis or financial accounting, and then I just push it. So that's one way to do it so that you have it. And then how you invite it, so what I do too, I'll come back over to my computer. I go into my Zoom. So my Zoom account through the college, and then I have created these Zoom meetings. So I have a business analysis Tuesday evenings and a financial accounting. And then when I click on that, it's going to start it, but that's not actually what I wanted to do. Okay, sorry. Let me go back. Cancel that. So my meetings, if I click on it this way, it will give me the invite. So then that is what I copy over. So I come down here and I say copy the invitation, and that is what I go back into my Outlook and then invite the classrooms and copy that invitation. So then the room has the link right to the Zoom room. So I always do that at the start of the semester. So again, go into Zoom, create my evenings, my class time for when it meets, what time, how many times, and then copy that invitation, come over into Outlook, and then create a new event, and then invite the two rooms, and then copy in that invitation. Then it's set up, and then I also put that out. If I go back over here into my my course in Blackboard, right in the announcements, I have the Zoom link. So this stays all semester, so they have it. So then all the students have to do is click it right there, which it's always in the announcements for the whole semester, click it, and then they're in, and then I have it set up over there. Now that's kind of the fancy way to do it, but then you don't have to worry about anything from a week-to-week basis. Your students have the link, the Zoom room has the link, and then boom, you're right in. Now what I'll do today though is just show you, if I click this button here and say, okay, it's a new meeting, it's gonna open it up, and then you're gonna see my screens change. So notice how I have the screen set up. Maybe I'll go back to this one. So then notice how I have them set up. So here is my share screen, which is showing my Blackboard. And then over here is the camera. Now I'm going to switch the camera. So if I come back over here, because I do more presentations on the board versus discussions. So I'm going to go to the other camera. And then now notice it has switched to the back camera. So then when I come back over here, now I want it really to go over to the whiteboard. So if I hit camera control, now some of the rooms will have the presets so that they move at different categories of the room. So none of those work for what I want to do though. So I'm going to just manually push the buttons. I want it to go over to my whiteboard. So there's my whiteboard. And then I want to bring it a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. move it a little bit. Sometimes it's kind of sensitive. You got to get it right there. But okay, so that's how I do it. So then again, it was just using the camera control, but always check the presets because some rooms have them preset. But if they don't, you can always just move it up or down and bring it closer or further away, whatever you want to do. And then if my students are logging in from the other location, I would go into my participants, and then I would say invite. So I'm going to go to invite, close those contacts. If you close the contacts, then all you see is the rooms. So I'm in M207, so I would invite A009, and I would say invite, and chances are nobody's there, so it probably is not going to get invited, or just not going to get accepted. But if there were students there, they would accept it, and then I would see them as participants. If I allow students to zoom in from home, which I do, if I click this participant button, I see the whole list of names. So then I can still take attendance by looking at who's participating via Zoom. And then here, the little icon will tell me how many students are present. So then I have everything kind of set up how I wanted. Then I'll go back, and what I do is I bring up a problem. So I would come over, and on the, again, if I'm sitting here as a student or I'm looking at it on Zoom, I'm going to see my share screen, which gives us a math problem. And then over here is the whiteboard. So then I will see if I can't show you the screen. What if I go that direction? But so then if I write like, okay, you know, my part is equal to my base times rate, and then I go back and I read a problem and say, okay, you know, there's $249 and it's a 7.75% sales tax. Let me see if... Then I'm going to go ahead and work the problem out on the board. And again, maybe you can see me better here. But then the students can see me up at the screen. I'm writing. And then again, if they're at home, so if they're in Akron, they're seeing it just like this. So I don't have any of the students turn on their cameras because I want my board to be big. I want my students to be able to see that whole whiteboard on their screen. So then that is why I set it up that way. Now, if you wanted to have discussions with the students, then you probably would want to have them have their cameras on, and then you would see like that Brady Bunch type view of Zoom. But if you are more of a math or a science professor, or us in business where we're working problems out on the board, this is how I set it up. So again, the students can read from the ebook, from the share screen, and then they can watch me work it out over here on the whiteboard. And again, they can see me, as you can see me here, and then I'm writing it out and I'm talking to the students as we're going through the class. So that is how I set up the Zoom room. Now, I will say there are sometimes issues that a common issue that I have, and you guys might know how to do this, but if it is not displaying what I want on the screen, if you go into your settings, so here the settings button, and you do your system display, you always want to make sure that it is duplicate these displays. The other choice is extend or show only on one or show only on two. So I guess it depends on what you're doing, but for what I'm doing, I always want it to duplicate the displays so they're seeing what I'm seeing on the screen at the same time, if I bring up a PowerPoint or whatever. So that is how I set up my Zoom room meetings. And then when the meeting is over, you would just push the end button, and then end meeting for all. And then you go right back to the original Zoom room. Okay, so that is my Spark Talk on how to use the Zoom room. Thank you for watching.